Assalamu alaikum, dear students of class 11th. As you know, we are reading a lesson titled Discovering Tet. The saga continues, written by A.R. Williams. In today's lesson, we'll be discussing from Lost Para, page 25 of the text Hornbill. Now let's start. Amenhotep III, Tut's father or grandfather, was a powerful pharaoh who ruled for almost 4 decades at the height of the 18th dynasty's golden age. His son Amenhotep IV succeeded him and initiated one of the strangest periods in the history of ancient Egypt. The new pharaoh promoted the worship of the Aten, the sun disk, changed his name to Akhenaten, Akhenaten, or servant of the Aten, and moved the religious capitals from the old city of Thebes to the new city of Akhetaten. Akhetaten, known now as Amarna. He further shocked the country by attacking Amun, a major god, smashing his images and closing his temples. It must have been a horrific time, said Ray Johnson, director of the University of Chicago's Research Center in Luxor, the site of ancient Thebes. The family that had ruled for centuries was coming to an end, and then Akhenaten went a little wacky. Here is one word, the meaning of this word is wacky, that is amusing in a slightly odd way. Wacky means amusing in a slightly odd way. Dear students, in this para, it says that Tut's father or grandfather, whose name was Amenhotep III, Tut's father or grandfather, whose name was Amenhotep III, was a powerful pharaoh who ruled over a period of 40 years. That means 4 decades means 40 years. Tut's father or Tut's grandfather Amenhotep III was a powerful pharaoh who ruled over a period of 40 years. His son, named Amenhotep IV, succeeded him and began the strangest period in the history of Egypt. He promoted the worship of Aten. Aten means the sun disk. He promoted the worship of Aten, means the sun disk. He changed his name to Akhenaten, Akhenaten, meaning servant of the Athens. He changed his name of Akhenaten, meaning servant of the Athens. He also shifted a religious capital from Thebes to the new city of Akhenaten called Amarna. Right? He also shifted the religious capital from Thebes to the new city of Akhenaten called Amarna. Further, he created Amun, a god, smashed his images, and closed his temple. Ray Johnson, director of the University of the Chicago, said it must have been a bad time for the empire as the family who ruled for centuries came to an end and Akhenaten moved in an odd direction. Right? Now the next para, let me read next para. After after Akhenaten's death, a mysterious ruler named Sem, Semen, Semenkari, Semenkari appeared briefly and excited with hardly a trace. And then a very young Tutankhaten, and then a very young Tutankhaten took the throne. King Tut, as he is widely known today, the boy king soon changed his name to Tutankhamun, a living image of Amun, and oversaw a restoration of the old days. He reigned for about 9 years and then died unexpectedly. Regardless of his fame, regardless of his fame and the speculations about his fate, Tut is one mummy among many in Egypt. How many? No one knows. The Egyptian Mummy project, which began an inventory in late 2003, has recorded almost 600 so far and is still counting. The next phase, scanning the mummies with a portable CT machine donated by the National Geographic Society and Siemens. Its manufacturer, King Tut, is one of the first mummies to be scanned in death as in life, moving regally ahead of his countrymen. Dear students, let me explain this para. That says there's another mysterious ruler, namely Samenkhari. Samenkhari. Samenkhari succeeded him and died soon. Next, Tutankhamun, also known as Tut, sat on the throne and ruled for 9 years. He worshipped good Amun in the old ways. However, he died mysteriously. Tut is one of the mummies in Egypt, whereas until now, with the help of the Egyptian Mummy Project, which started in 2003, almost 600 mummies have been recorded so far. King Tut's mummy was the first one to be scanned by CT. Under the next phase of scanning the mummies with the machine donated by the National Geographic Society and Siemens. Right? Now next para. As CT machines scanned the mummy head to toe, creating 1700 digital X-ray images in cross section. Tut's head scanned in 0.62 millimeters slices to register its intricate structures, takes an eerie detail in the resulting image. With Tut's entire body similarly recorded, a team of specialists in radiology, forensics, and anatomy began to probe the secrets that the winged goddess of a gilded burial shrine protected for so long. Here are some words. One word is iriditail. Iriditail means strange image of Tut's head as visible with the help of CT scan. Iriditail means strange image of Tut's head as visible with the help of CT scan. Forensics means the application of the scientific method to investigate crime. Another word is anatomy, that means the branch of science which deals with the bodily structure of humans, animals, or other living beings. What is anatomy? Anatomy is the branch of science which deals with the bodily structure of humans, animals, or other living beings. Burial, 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 B-U-R-I-L, burial means burying the dead. Burial means burying the dead. Shrine means holy place. Now let me explain in detail this para. That says that CT scan machine, the CT scan machine scanned the body of death by creating 1700 digital X-rays in cross section. Right? That says that the CT scan machine was used. We scanned the body of the dead by creating 1700, that means 1700 X-rays in cross section. That says that Tut's head was scanned in 0.62 mm slices. Its head was scanned 0.0.62 millimeter slices to record the tiny details, to record the very tiny details. The resulting image was very strange. That says the resulting image was very strange. A team of radiology, forensics, and anatomy experts stand examining the secrets of the grave that had been protected by flying goddess for a long time. Now, next para, the night of the scan. The night of the scan, workmen carry Tut from the top from the tomb is in box like pallel bears, like pallel bears. They climbed a ramp and a flight of stairs into the sizzling sand outside. Into the sizzling sand outside. Then rose on a hydraulic lift into the trailer that held the scanner. 20 minutes later, two men emerged, sprinted for an office nearby, and returned with a pair of white plastic pens. The $1 million scanner had quit because of sand in a cooler fan. Curse of the Pharaoh, joked a god nervously. Eventually, the substitute fans worked well enough to Eventually, the substitute fans worked well enough to furnish the procedure. After checking that no data had been lost, the technicians turned over to the workman who carried him back to his tomb less than 3 hours after he was removed from his coffin. The pharaoh again rested in peace where the funerary priestess had laid him so long ago. Here are some difficult words. Let me tell you the meaning of these words. Pallbearers means a person who helps to escort a coffin at a funeral. Pallbearers means a person who helps to escort a coffin at a funeral. Now, swiveling means to spin or twist. Swiveling means to spin or twist. Hydraulic lift means a lift that uses a machine to lift or move heavy objects with a pressure. Sprinted means ran at a high speed. Now let me explain this para. That says that during the night, that says that during the night, workmen climbed up on the ramp. That says that during the night, workmen climbed up on the ramp and the flight of stairs to carry the body from tomb into the spinning sand outside. During the night, workmen climbed up on the ramp and the flight of stairs to carry the body from the tomb into the spinning sand outside. Right says they rose the body. They rose the body onto a hydraulic lift. They rose the body onto a hydraulic lift, then into a trailer where the scanner was kept. That says after 20 minutes, two men ran towards the office nearby to bring two fans. And that says that the scanner was not working as the sand had entered a cooler fan. The god joked that it was because of the curse of the pharaoh because they had removed his body. Right also says that once the fan worked, the procedure was finished. Once as soon as the fans worked, the procedure was finished. The data was checked in the case of any losses and then technicians returned the body to the pallbearers who carried him back to his tomb. In less than 3 hours, he was resting at the same place where the priestess had laid him many years ago. Now this is last para. That says now the text it is last para. Page it is page 27. Back in the trailer, a technician pulled up the astonishing images. Back in the trailer, a technician pulled up astonishing images of Tut on a computer screen. A grey head took shape from a scattering of pixels, and the technician spun and titled it in every direction. Neck vertebrate appeared as clearly as in an anatomy class. Other images revealed a hand, several views of the rib cage, and a transition of the sickle. But for now the pressure was off. Sitting back in this chair, Zahi Hawass smiled, visibly relieved that nothing had gone seriously wrong. I don't sleep last night. Not for a second, he said. I was so worried, but now I think I will go and sleep. By the time was by the time was by the time we left the trailer, descending metal stairs to the sandy ground, the wind had stopped. The winter air lay cold and still, like death itself in the valley of the departed. Just above the entrance to that storm stood Orion, the constellation that the ancient Egypt knew as the soul of the Osiris, the god of the afterlife, watching over the boy king. Here are some difficult words in these two paras, small paras. Astonishing means amazing. Astonishing means amazing. Astonishing means amazing. Pixels means a pixel is a single point in a graphic image. Spun means to turn around. Vertebrate means a series of small bones which form a backbone. Dear students, in the trailer, the technician showed a beautiful image of Tut on a computer screen. Right? In the trailer, the technician showed a beautiful image of Tut on a computer screen. He showed the grey head, which was scattered in pixels, and he spun it around. Next, the vertebrate hand, the vertebrae hand, rib cage, and transition of his sickle wire shown. Next, the vertebrae hand, rib cage, and transition of his sickle wire shown. As the work was done, the pressure was finally off from the shoulders of Zahi house. While sitting in his chair, he smiled and said that he was relieved that nothing went wrong. He had not slept the previous night, and now, as the work was done, he would go and sleep. By the time they left the trailer, the wind had stopped, and the winter air was like death itself. And the winter air was like death itself. Just above the tomb, the Orion constellation shone in the night sky, watching over the boy king. Thank you very much.